Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really plunging into a critical moment. Day 5 of a significant global event. We're looking at how fast a regional conflict can just explode onto the world stage. Our source material today is an excerpt. It's titled The Red Sea Chokehold, Day 5 of the Iran-Israel War. It details this incredibly rapid escalation. So our mission today, let's unpack this, see how events in one spot can send shockwaves, like instantly across continents, affecting energy markets, everything.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, or maybe alarming, is the strategic importance of the places involved. We're talking June 17th, 2025. This was the day Iran apparently activated Plan Zulfikar. Zulfikar, it's a legendary sword in Islamic tradition, so the name itself signals, well, serious intent. A swift, decisive strike.
A sword, right, symbolic.
Exactly, and their focus, maritime blockades, two of the world's most critical shipping lanes, the Strait of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb.
Okay, Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb, these are just dots on a map.
Not at all. They are literally the arteries for a huge chunk of global oil and trade. They control access, you see, to the Suez Canal and the Persian Gulf. So the single day, day 5, it marks this fundamental shift. We go from localized fighting to direct economic warfare.
You're highlighting these choke points, Hormuz, Bab el-Mandeb, and it's just striking how fast military action turned into actual global panic. The source mentions fast attack boats, mines, anti-ship missiles. It sounds like a multi-pronged attack aimed at crippling shipping, like immediately, targeting commercial vessels.
Precisely. And it worked, at least initially. Within hours, the report says 2 oil tankers were hit, set ablaze. Another commercial ship actually sank off Oman.
Wow.
Yeah.
So beyond the burning ships and the sinking, what was the immediate global impact?
Oh, it was instant and telling. Global oil prices shot up. We're talking 23% in a single day.
23%. That's huge.
It is. And look, that surge isn't just about lost oil barrels. It reflects this deep psychological shock. The idea that global trade routes, these arteries we mentioned, are suddenly under direct threat. Markets react to that fear, often amplifying things way beyond the actual physical disruption.
Right, the fear factor.
And it wasn't just at sea. The source notes Houthi rebels, who are backed by Iran, fired long-range missiles. They targeted Eilat port in southern Israel, forced massive evacuations there, shows the conflict's widening reach.
Okay, so you've got attacks at sea, missile strikes on land. How did the major powers, the big players, react to this sudden escalation?
Well, the immediate response was pretty sharp. The U.S. Fifth Fleet, it's based right there in the region, they raised their alert level to DEFCON 3.
DEFCON 3, that's serious readiness, right? Yeah. Forces preparing for rapid deployment.
Exactly. It signals things are getting very tense very quickly. And Israel's naval response, swift and quite precise. Their submarine, the INS Leviathan, which is a very capable platform, launched cruise missiles, hit Bandar Abbas, that's Iran's main naval port, disabled it effectively.
Disabled the whole port.
According to the source material, yes. Key infrastructure hit hard, and there's another layer here. Israeli cyber forces, their Unit 8200.
Often compared to the NSA, right?
That's the one. Elite stuff. They apparently played a crucial role. They disabled Iranian radar along the southern coast. That created openings, for subsequent drone attacks. And then you had the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, making a very stark public statement, basically. Mess with maritime trade, it's an act of war. Our response will be precise and unforgiving. Pretty blunt.
So, military moves, cyber attacks, strong words. But what really stands out, maybe the most terrifying part, is how this day blurred the lines. The conflict jumped from the physical world, the ships and ports, into this full-blown shadow war online. In the digital realm, the source says Iranian hackers took down flight control at Ben Gurion Airport for 90 minutes. Imagine that.
90 minutes. Chaos at a major international airport.
And in retaliation, Israel's Unit 8200 apparently hit Tehran's banking system, infected it somehow. ATMs froze across the city, panic spreading on the streets.
Yeah, think about that. You go to get cash, and nothing works. Everywhere. Yeah. It hits daily life at such a fundamental level. That disruption, that's economic warfare, too.
Absolutely. So what did that do to the global economic picture, beyond the oil price spike?
Well, the immediate impact was palpable. Stock markets in Asia started trembling straight away. NATO called an emergency session. It just shows how instant that global reverberation was. The summary for just this one day, day 5, paints a really stark picture. 4 tankers hit, One sunk, two major Iranian ports disabled, nine significant digital infrastructure systems hit, back and forth between the two nations.
And the markets.
Oil hit $135 a barrel. The Dow Jones dropped 1,400 points. It was a cascade.
Wow.
And this really brings up a critical question, doesn't it? In a world this interconnected, where does regional even end and global begin anymore? And what does that mean for, our collective stability when both the physical world and the digital world are battlegrounds simultaneously? It's something to really think about.
It definitely is. So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening right now as we look at this incredibly complex web of global systems? Day 5 was clearly a turning point, a dramatic shift. What might have seemed like a regional conflict just exploded, impacting global trade, energy, diplomacy, everything. It shows just how tightly wound, how interconnected our world really is. As the source puts it, the arteries of global trade, energy, and diplomacy were now bleeding. Keep thinking about those broader implications, because the ripples from days like this, well, they eventually touch everyone,